So welcome everybody again. My name is Lauren Wilson. I'm the Associate Director of Student Development, and we are really excited to have everybody here at Officer Training and the Greek Leader Summit today. Before I get started, I just wanted to kind of highlight some of our successes from last year. How many of you were in clubs last year and organizations, e-board members? Hopefully everybody's hand is like going up for something right now. So Osprey Hub highlights all the different ways to get involved on campus. And as of last spring, we had 286 ways to get involved in Stockton, including 208 student organizations, fraternities, and sororities. So that number continues to grow every year based on our new student organizations that get started, and for student leaders like you who keep the other organizations alive and running smoothly. Does anybody want to take a guess at the total number of students who were involved with student organizations last year and fraternities and sororities? Or a percentage? What percentage of students do you think were involved?
Let's say 75, 80%.
75 or 80% of students. That's ambitious, but the great goal though. Anyone else want to take a guess in the back? 20%. All right, well, we're somewhere in between there, right? So we have 56% of the student body. So that's more than half of students who are involved with a club or organization or fraternity and sorority on campus, which is an excellent number to know that more than half of the student body is getting involved. So we're all doing something right. 1,269 students were officers in the student organization, fraternity, or sorority. And of those who had an executive board position, the average GPA was 3.42. So you should all celebrate that. Give yourselves a round of applause. Just so that you're aware, that is higher than the average student GPA, which is 3.24. So congrats to you all for juggling everything and doing it well. And then in terms of the number of events that were in Osprey Hub last year, we had 1,237 events. So you have all been busy, and you have certainly kept us very busy in student development as well. But all things to celebrate, and we're really excited to kick off another wonderful year with you all. Hold on a second. There we go. So I wanted to quickly provide an overview of the schedule for the day. Hopefully everybody received a copy of the schedule when you walked in. If you didn't, there will be some copies on the way out. So make sure that you pick one up before you start navigating through the day. For those of you who are representing your fraternity or sorority today, we do have a special track specifically for members of our fraternity and sorority community. And that is the group that's highlighted in yellow. We don't need every person who's a member of those organizations to attend, but we do ask that 3 officers from each fraternity or sorority attend the sessions that are in yellow, and those will be in meeting room 5. Okay, can you all stand up please really quick and scooch to the center, because we have people who are still coming in that need places to sit. Thank you, sorry. So right now, we need to be getting up and moving towards the center so we can up to you. Okay. Thank you. All right, and for our friends just coming in, you can squeeze on. There should be some seats opening at the aisles. Thank you, everybody. For those of you who are treasurers, quick show of hands, how many of you are treasurers for the organization? Some of the recommended sessions for you all would be the financial procedure session, fundraising and Osprey's Give, how to submit a successful funding request. Those are all really helpful for treasurers to be aware of. We do have a lot of different sessions available today that are geared towards all types of different levels of leaders. So whether you're a returning student leader, a new student leader, these are all helpful sessions for everybody. So we encourage you all to divide and conquer amongst the representatives that are here today from your student organization to make sure that you can all go and get a different skill set to share with others. So if there's 4 people from an organization, we don't want you all going through the same track. We want you to kind of pick and choose so that you can come together at the end and share the skills that you're learning. For the sessions that are after dinner, the Greek Leader Summit and the Creating Positive Organizational Culture will last for both of those 2 breakout sessions. And so if you're choosing one of those sessions, just know that that's kind of it for the after dinner session. They'll be keeping you there for both of those blocks. But the descriptions for all of our sessions are on the back of your schedule, so definitely take a look as we're going through the opening session today, and you can start to plan out who's going to go to which session. All right, so quick, what's new at Stockton? You may have heard we have a new president here at Stockton, so we're all very excited to welcome President Joe. He has been very busy and coming around to lots of different student events. He was at the Spaces Welcome Reception yesterday for any of you who were there, and is really excited to be a part of the Stockton community. He's definitely making his way around to lots of different events, but his schedule is filling up really, really fast. So if your organization is doing an event and you would like to invite the president to attend and or speak at your event, please talk with your student development advisor early on, because his schedule is filling up, but we can try and help you kind of coordinate the invitation for President Joe to come to your event. Don't be offended if you can't go, because he's very busy. I know that he does want to show face at lots of different things though. Atlantic City Phase 2 opened this fall. How many of you live there? A few of you in the room, excellent. Hope that experience is going well so far. But we now have double the amount of residents living in Atlantic City. So keep that in mind when you are planning your programs and events, that Atlantic City is, alive and well, and we have lots of programming spaces over there for you to engage those residents. We also have a new meditation room. It used to be over in N-Wing, right near the N-Wing dining hall. And it is now moving over to F012, which is kind of right next to the Multicultural Center. It's still in the process of being fixed up and beautified, but it is open now. So if you do need a prayer space, place to meditate, you can go over to the meditation room, and just know that we are still fixing it up and it will be beautified very soon. We also have the Fostering Athletic Spirit team, which got started last semester, right? I'm looking at Parth because he's sort of the leader of the crew. But we are working really closely with athletics to promote different sporting events on campus and boosting that Osprey pride by offering giveaways at lots of the different athletic events. And so keep your eyes open for different fast games that we have and different athletic events, because we are giving out lots of fun things this semester. In terms of what's new in student development, I feel like we've had a few changes this summer. So many of you may know that Joe Thompson, who was the fraternity and sorority advisor and advised many student organizations, has a new role at Stockton and no longer works in the Office of Student Development. Shadia Luger also left us over the summer for a new opportunity. And so between me, Jeff, Parth, and Diane, we have divided up all of the different clubs that used to be advised by Joe and Shadia. So on Osprey Hub, there's a little button, who's my advisor? Everybody does have a student development advisor still, but it may have changed since last year. Go on and check to make sure that you know who you're going to be working with. And even though we're all going to be a little extra busy this fall as we start to do the searches to fill those vacancies, we are all here to help you. So definitely make sure to check that on Osprey Hub so that you know who your advisor is. Club mailboxes. You may remember that the club mailboxes used to be on the second level of the campus center, right outside of our resource room near the lounge area. We came in one day and the mailboxes were gone, and we have new club lockers. We figured that would be a better use of space, since lots of you have been asking for club locker space. And so club mailboxes have shifted to the front desk office. So if you're looking for mail, if you're expecting an invoice for your dues or a check to come from your fundraiser, come to the front desk of student development, and we have hanging file folders available so that you can get your mail. With that said, we have several new lockers that are available for student organizations. So come to the resource room and you can chat with Miss Renee over here. And we also, I think, have the application up on Osprey Hub, correct? So you can fill out the application for a new club locker if you don't already have one assigned, and Renee will help to get you set up with that. We have some new front desk office hours. So in the past, our resource room was open until 8 p.m. Now our front desk area will be open until 8 p.m. So this way you can access your club mailbox and some other things that are offered through the front desk. Obviously, if you need something in the resource room, they can go and swipe you in. But our front desk will be open until 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday. We're still closing at 6 on Fridays. Sorry. All right, so I just wanted to quickly highlight some of the resources that are available for student leaders on Osprey Hub. So again, when you log in and you scroll down, there's this campus link section, which is kind of like our bookmarks for student leaders. It starts with Who is my advisor. That's an excellent resource for your first step of finding out who to connect with. Standards of practice for recognized student organizations is our way of saying policies and procedures and all of the things that you have to follow. We have our student leader training videos, which we are trying to build up into a series of student leader trainings of 10 minutes or less. So that this way, if you just need a quick question answered, our hope is that you'll be able to go here and be able to watch a 5-minute video, 3-minute video, maybe a 9-minute video, but something that's less than 10 minutes to get your question answered. I know a lot of you are visual learners, so rather than us just typing out the email response, you can go and kind of see exactly where to go on Osprey Hub and how to navigate those different things. You can also find on here some resources for 25 Live, Cater Tracks, which is our Chartwell's ordering system, so you can learn how to submit a catering order, how to submit different marketing tools, so like the TV LED requests on campus, how to get your event featured in the Stock and Student Digest, Campus Center ticketing requests if you're hosting events that are ticketed, and things like that. So this is a really good spot to try and get a lot of your questions answered. But obviously, if you can't get your questions answered there, your student development advisors are always available. One of the other things, I'm going to kind of transition things over to Jeff, but one of the other things that we really wanted to highlight was how do I report? Because a lot of times people will come to us and talk about a concern that they have with a member of their organization, or they're concerned for their well-being, they're concerned for their safety, or there's a member that came to them with a concern about another member who may be stalking them or harassing them or whatever it might be. Please know that this link is for anybody to use. It's not just for RAs, it's not just for staff. Any student can file a report, and I do think that there's an option to remain anonymous if you want to be anonymous, but if you are able to provide your information and as much information as possible for whatever incident you're encountering, that does make it helpful. I'm going to turn things over to Jeff because I know he has a few more words to say about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. I know that Lauren briefly mentioned why we sometimes hear things. A lot of times we are hearing that there are trouble inside an organization, like after the fact, after many times. So I want to make sure that you can always come to the student development office and talk to us about some kind of issues that you're having. But I mean, really, this is for anything, individual students for any issues that you have. But I also want to say, like, if somebody hurts themselves at an event, or someone is having a problem at a meeting, we can work through all of those things. We are going to talk a little bit about clubs and organizations, and if you're an open organization, meaning that you are open for all people. That also means that the organization officers don't have the ability to throw people out of their events and their meetings and anything like that without intervention from the university. So if you are having those kinds of troubles, please see us early so we can take care of those things. Like I said, we will be talking about that in a minute because it's registration time for the clubs and organizations. Fraternities and sororities, you have a different system, so you don't have to worry about this current slide. But for all the organizations on campus, the clubs and organizations, not fraternities and sororities, there's a roster minimum. There are almost 10,000 students here. If you can't get 10 to join your club, maybe we need to look at refocusing your organization on something that is available or interesting to more people. So that's why we have these roster minimums. We also, as hopefully you know, have a really robust system for our co-curricular record. And that co-curricular record and all of the communication that we do inside of Osprey Hub is based on making sure that your officers and e-board members are identified. So this is for everybody. We want to make sure that you're going into that roster, making sure all of the members are on it, and making sure all of the officer positions are named. Fraternities and sororities or any organization out there that has different names than like president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer, you can rename those positions. Don't like create Grand Poobah, take president, change the title to what that is. Very important for us because again, we use that to communicate. When we try and email all presidents, if you created a new position because your president doesn't have that exact title, the president won't get that email. So it's very important that you assign all those e-board member positions and you identify a faculty staff advisor. Fraternities and sororities, I know many of you have them. Clubs and organizations, you're required to have them. So please make sure that that staff or faculty member has joined the roster on Osprey Hub and that you have marked it. Also, we would like everyone to review and upload your constitution. I know it's not always the most up-to-date version. If you're making any changes, please make us aware. So how do you make sure you have all this done? On Monday, we're going to open a registration for all the clubs and organizations. So all the clubs and organizations, when you log in, it's going to have a blue button that says, this organization is eligible for re-registration. Not fraternities and sororities, you have a different system. It will come up, and if you click that, it'll say, tell us who your officers are. Tell us who your advisor is. Is there anyone else that you need to invite? Check your constitution. If not, upload a new version here. So you should be able to click through that pretty quickly, but that'll show that you're working on all those things and give you a really easy way to invite all the old people. I didn't say old people, past members, okay? And what do you get for this? This is all organizations, including fraternities and sororities. The privilege for being recognized at Stockton is you get to hold these room reservations. You get to hold events on campus. You get to hold fundraisers on campus. If you happen to be one of the clubs and organizations that is open for everyone, if you've been around for more than 2 semesters, you can get funding. We can approve your trip. We can get you lockers, offices. We don't have many. But also use of the university name is involved in that. So we do this on purpose. We make sure that you have enough students and, for fraternities and sororities, you filed your insurance paperwork. We know who your national officers are before we let you do these things. All right. A random student does not have the privilege for these things, only recognized student organizations. So make sure you're keeping up on your rosters. And I do want to talk a bit about the funding. Not everybody is eligible for funding, we know that. But I think it's important that a lot of you are here for funding and that we understand where the student activities fee comes from. Where does all that money come from? Basically, if you don't know, if you've never paid your bill, there is about a $60 charge every semester that you pay. And it gets used to fund all of these activities and a couple administrative line items. Student Senate, we didn't say Student Senate. Student Senate, raise your hand in the room. They're all sitting together in the back. For the first time in the history of Stockton, the Student Senate budget, which gets used for all the funded clubs and organizations and activities, is over $1 million. It has been climbing 5% year after year after year, even though our enrollment hasn't climbed 5%, because of the hard work that Student Senate has been doing, proving how good you all spend your money and how much they protect the student activities fee. So just know where that comes from. When that budget is in your office, in your club organization, it's not your money, it's every ducks on the pond. It's every student who is here. Now that's why I have ducks, right? They're all like, why does Jeff have ducks?
The ducks.
Why does he pick the ducks? All right, I'm just gonna go through this really quickly to make sure everyone understands, because not everyone, if you have questions about the next 3 slides, go to one of the But those fees are created to have activities for all the students. It's not for your classes, it's not for tuition, it's not for gifts. So hopefully your organization isn't trying to do things to make your chemistry 101 class better. Because not everybody's registered in chemistry 101. Every student should have access to the money. What does that mean? That means every time new people raise your hand again. Every time one of these new people comes in and says, I want a club, you know what they get? A club. We don't stand in the way of anybody who wants to start an organization on this campus. Funded clubs have to be open to everyone. All right? I don't care if you're a biology student, you can join the biology club. Doesn't matter if you're Irish, you can join the Irish dancing club that somebody wanted to start, but we haven't heard from them. That they haven't filled out the paperwork yet, I should say. Each year, you all put that $60 into the pot for activities that year. I tell the student senate all the time, we don't get a cookie for saving money. It all goes back to what's called the fund balance. And that's where the student senate comes in and says, hey, the fund balance is growing because we didn't spend everything. Give us more, give us more, give us more. That's why the budget has been increasing faster than the students. So, but use the money because you all paid for it. This year, students paid that money, give them the activities they deserve. And every student should have a say on how it's used. This is why Senate has elections that you all vote on. This is why SET sends out all the surveys for the concert. This is why your organization should be open and should be voting all the time on who is your leadership and what you're going to be spending your funding on. Because it's everybody's money. I'm going to go over this really briefly because, and again, we're going deeper in my sessions. The Student Senate has been trained that all of these funds should be distributed in a content neutral basis. That's from a lawsuit. Don't worry about that. It's from like a Supreme Court case. But what it really means is nobody's ideas are better than anybody else's ideas. Student Senate is not going to be like, oh, I don't like that band. I don't like that kind of music. I'm a Republican and they're coming in asking for things for Democrats. They're not going to ask any of those questions. Content neutral. Okay? If they're asking those questions, I will stop them. If you come in and you say, my event is the best event because we're better than Club X or Y, they don't want to hear that. They think everybody is valuable. All the ducks on the pond are valuable. All right? Decisions will be given to the most value for the most students. So they may ask you, are these expenses necessary? Do you need to buy those front row tickets? Are the students paying a ticket price? Have you done any fundraising? How many students will you expect to attend? Those questions matter because they say how many students are getting the benefit and what is the benefit for each student. All right, I just want to put that in your ear because I know a lot of, especially some of the seasoned student leaders who've been around a long time, might not go to the financial session. So I just wanted to cover that. Timelines. We are down a lot of staff. If it wasn't for our grad assistants, we'd probably all walk out. It's really important that you give us as much lead time for your meeting spaces, for your event spaces, for any of the aspirant help requests, for the purchasing requests, for the funding requests, cater tracks. Chartwell's is not playing on the lead time. They will charge you extra if you are not requesting that food 2 weeks in advance. You already need 3 weeks to get the money to pay for it. So why anyone's ordering food with less than 2 weeks, I'm not really sure. But simple room reservations, you can't even click within 48 hours. Like the system will not let you. If you're doing any kind of public event on campus, please give us 3 weeks. Basic funding stuff, 3 weeks. More, If you're traveling, just tell us now. If you're traveling in June, tell us now. All right, because it is, right, I see Renee's like, she's nodding her head. We do this because the people who run the university and run all the funding have so many rules and so many laws that they have to follow in the state of New Jersey for their purchasing, that it's not us. We literally cannot get a process done any faster. The contracting process, all those things. Again, if you want to learn more about that, come to F111. We're going to be talking about that, but everybody, please, 3 weeks plus for anything that you're doing. Student Senate Finance Committee meets 3 Tuesdays every month. So if you are asking for new funding and you already know you need 3 weeks for that event, you better be asking for that funding 3 weeks before you need it. If you are over 1,500, read the bottom. If you are $14.99, you can go to the Tuesday meeting, first, second, and third Tuesday. If you're asking for $1,500.00, you need to go to the monthly meeting after you meet with the finance committee. So if you are requesting more than 1,500, you better be a month out plus the 3 to 6 weeks it's going to take you to get the event approved. What did I say? If you're going somewhere, tell us now. There's no reason to wait. You can request money that you're going to use in March, April, May, June. Common purchasing mistakes. Again, you might not be coming to F111. If this is all new to you, please come to F111. But when we do these 3 weeks in advance, a lot of times people are coming in, they already ignored the 3 weeks in advance, and they already bought something, or they already agreed to pay that DJ, or maybe that DJ has already played. We cannot pay anyone after the fact. All right. A lot of times you should not be signing any contracts. You shouldn't be agreeing to anything without getting it approved through us. If you agree that that DJ can come on Tuesday the 25th and you haven't got it cleared through us, you're the one who's on the stick to pay that money. Please, you have to get everything approved by us. We can't do reimbursements unless it's previously approved. Sometimes weird things happen, like, hey, we know we have to pay to park when we go to that museum in Philadelphia, but we have no idea what it's going to cost on that day. Okay, if that's in the travel paperwork, we can do a reimbursement after the fact, but that was already pre-approved, all right? Pre-approved many weeks in advance, 3 weeks in advance. All right, I hate this. I literally went to the conference for the software people who make the Osprey Hub, and I said, the very first question, it's too high. Oh, there's a blinky thing. Oh, that thing right there. I told them, I went to them, I said, college students don't know what a payee is. They put their own freaking name in here. Accounting majors, you're probably laughing. Payee is the person who receives the money. I don't know why they use that term. Please put the person who is getting the money in that box. Event link, and we need the event link or we need the flyer. This again is one of those purchasing rules from the state. They need proof that that event happened before we can pay that DJ. What is the proof that has been agreed at Stockton? An approved Osprey Hub event. So throw the or a flyer. So throw the URL of your Osprey Hub event in there, or make sure it's in there, or go back and put it in if you didn't get it before, because for us to get that check cut, we need to have that. And really, every purchase, everything that you're trying to buy needs some sort of backup. An invoice, a quote, an online shopping cart. We need something that proves that what you're buying actually costs that much. So those are the two big things that a lot of people aren't putting in that we need. Every year we get asked, where should I buy this? Where should I buy that? Where should I buy this? You can buy stuff at other vendors. These vendors already have a deal worked out with the university and give us really good prices. What did we say? Custom Ink is like, look, I know it's easy, but they are really expensive. All right, call our boy up there at 8th Street Printing. He's over by Rowan. He literally drives to campus and drops it off. If you've ever been to Rowan and you've seen those little cars running around, that's his business too. So anyway, use these people. Stouts are the same bus people who are driving the bus back and forth to Atlantic City. So they already know the campus. They know where they're going. WB Mason, we have a killer deal with WB Mason and they deliver daily. So go to WB Mason, make that online shopping cart, send it to us. And I think that's where I'm handing off the part. All right, if any questions about financial stuff, come to F111. I do it twice each time, so that way you can, go see other stuff too. Thank you.
All right. My name is Parth. I am a coordinator of student program of student development, and I'm going to talk to you about all the fun stuff some of the fun stuff that's coming up very soon. And the first thing is President Joe's ISOM Social. So President's office is hosting this. This is just kind of like a meet and greet. So you can go to this, get some free ice cream, get to talk to him. He's very approachable, very social, so don't be afraid. This is this upcoming Tuesday from 3 to 5, just outside of Multicultural Center, so that's the DF Wing Plaza. Next is the Meet the Greeks, which is Thursday of next week. September 14th in the event room. So if you are a fraternity or sorority organization, this starts at 8. You need to be there before 7:30. Don't show up at 7:50 when students are lining up to, swipe in. So we want to make sure that you're all prepared, you're all set up before we let students in. So get there before 7:30 or in case we'll kick you out.
No, I'll cry. I won't kick you out.
Case of the class, I'll be there.
But I'm crying.
Jeff will pick you up there. So the next thing is Get Involved Fair, which is September 19th and 20th, which is the following week of Tuesday, Wednesday. And you all know what Get Involved Fair is, hopefully, but if you don't, it's just where all the organizations get to the table during these 2 days. And this is where you can market your organization, recruit new members, and share all the fun things that you do. Next is the University Weekend. So this year, University Weekend is October 5th through 8th. And the theme is flying into the future. So if you would like to, we would highly encourage you to participate in a street parade, street fair, and University Weekend parade, which is going to be on Saturday morning. In order to sign up or register your organization, go on OSPREHEP. All the details are right there. And if you are one of the first ones to register, you'll get a golf cart. And then you can we'll have a day just before that where you can basically decorate your cart. If you need to buy anything for your cart, put that purchase request in right away, so that way we can get that process, and then you can go purchase the supplies that you need to decorate your cart. The other thing I wanted to, these are all the events that are happening. I wanted to just mention that the Osprey Ball ticket just went on sale yesterday at the info desk. This year we're going to be doing Osprey Ball at Renault Winery. And that's going to be on Thursday, October 5th from 8 to 11. Buses are provided, and you can purchase one ticket for yourself as a student, and then one ticket for, if you would like to invite a guest, you can invite a guest, it could be, a non-stopping guest, you can invite them, but their ticket price is different. So you can bring +1 to, Oscar Bowl. It will be fun, so make sure it's one of the more popular events and you generally sell out tickets very fast, so make sure to grab yours soon. And then all the other details about transportation and everything, you can find that on Osprey Hub. And then the other thing, our office also does cultural celebration months. We oversee cultural celebration months along with multicultural center multicultural center. And so the very first one actually starts next Friday, right? Next Friday, yeah. So it's Hispanic Heritage Month, starts next Friday. The very first event is a flag raising ceremony, but it's from September 15th to October 15th. Then right in just, I guess, October 1st to October, the month of October is the LGBTQ plus history month. So there's going to be events happening, a lot of events happening pertaining to these particular cultural months. You can find all of this all the programs on Osprey Hub, but we also have specific web pages for these cultural months. So you can just go to stockton.edu and there's a /HHM, but you can basically just search for Hispanic Heritage Month or LGBTQ plus History Month, and you'll see a page. And a lot of the events, or all the events that are tagged as Hispanic Heritage Month event or any basically any cultural month events, will auto-populate to that web page. So it's easier for you to kind of figure out what events are happening. Then we'll have Black History Month in February, Women's History Month in March, and then AAPI month in April/May. I mean, it's generally May, but we celebrate it here early April. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is started this program initiative last year. It's called Story Space. Some of you may have heard of it or gone to it. But it basically is a program where you gather to just share stories. Each time there's a different theme. It's generally once a month, sometimes it's twice a month, and it's completely voluntary. So if you want to share a story based on the theme, you can just volunteer and share whatever you would like. You generally get 5 to 7 minutes. If you don't want to share anything, you can come and listen. It's just a great way to learn about each other, just gain knowledge about different things, different cultures, different backgrounds, different people's stories and experiences. And it's just through storytelling. And we do food, we have giveaways, and these are the story spaces for the fall semester. So majority of them, the first one is starting, it's the 20th of September, and just summer memories, just anything you want to share about summer. And then we'll go into Latinx voices for Hispanic Heritage Month, LGBTQ plus voices for LGBTQ plus History Month, and then the last one is I'm Thankful For, which is November, so for Thanksgiving, or it could be anything, whatever your interpretation of topic is. The next thing I want to talk about is the Stockton Movie Night. So we do movie nights here at Galloway as well as Atlantic City campus. This is the these are the movies we'll be showing for the fall semester between this campus and AC. And so this week, we're showing, yesterday we had the first showing of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and then we have a second one tomorrow. So we do movie nights here on Thursdays and Saturdays, and then Atlantic City does movie nights on Mondays and Thursdays. They're both at 8:30 p.m. And we do Galloway, we do it at Campus Center, like right here. And then Atlantic City's B119, B120. And these are the movies, like I said, we're showing. So if you want to take a picture or just, these are all on Osprey Hub as well. We do giveaways, we do movie night snacks. All right, the last thing the last thing I have is Leadership Lunch Series. So this is just a great opportunity for you to come to our Leadership Lunch or come to this event and just learn about leadership. We have different speakers, different topics each time, and it is during lunchtime, so you get free lunch and get to learn about just different things that it's all of the things that that is just gonna benefit you, whether you're, as a student or as you move on into a job market. So this is just a great opportunity for you to or great program to attend, and these are the dates for the fall semester, and I think that's pretty much it, right? Oh, all right, I'm not gonna dismiss you, Jeff, but yeah, that's all, thank you.
Thank you. I just have a couple of quick notes that I wanted to shout out before we all left. The next thing that we're doing is we're going through the sessions. Again, you can see that some of the sessions are 2 blocks. Some of the sessions are done twice. So almost everything in the first block is done twice. So if you're brand new, you want to go to financial procedures and ask for help for beginners or fundraising, ask for help or whatever, they're all done twice. I also want to mention that the Greek Leader Summit stuff, we're actually going to stay here. Casey will be presenting all of those. For those of you who don't know, fraternities and sororities, I and Casey will be covering, pretending that we're as good as Joe for the rest of the semester until we hire people.
Make sure that you say the meeting room 5 will be.
Oh, yes. Let me say it again. The fraternity and sorority stuff that was in meeting room 5 is now going to be here. And I think the only other thing I want to say is on Monday, you're going to receive an email. That's why we start June. And it's going to be an evaluation of all of the sessions. So please fill that out because it's really important for us to know what we should be presenting next year. If you